Whoa. I'm gonna do this real quick. Yes, I do. You just chill tuning in to the live stream. Unfortunately, I just turned everything on and I found out that everything was actually off already again. I got to figure out why this keeps happening and what I'm doing wrong because it seems like I turn it off the same way every night. Some nights it does it, some nights it doesn't. So I got to see what I'm doing because it's really just, and yeah, that should take care of what I need for right now, I guess. And, okay, great. So let's see if this is working. There we go. Now that we finally got that out the way, well, I guess. What is this? I never set this like this. Why is this? I don't. I don't understand right now. All right. Well, the show must go on, right? All right. Thank you for tuning in here with me at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and we are going to be breaking down some of the hottest and latest boxing news. And we're going to debunk some rumors that are going around about some fighters. So, fight fans, we have some we have some good news, and we have some, some announcements to be made. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Well, I want to talk about Subriel Matias and Devin Haney, and a lot of things are being thrown around in social media, and a lot of people have their certain fighters, their favorite certain fighters, and they're fans of Devin Haney's. And Subriel Matias has his own separate fans. Here at Round One Sports Talk, we are not a fan to just one in particular boxer. We are a fan of boxing. And if you would like to be educated about boxing, I will break down what's going on and I'm just going to give it to you, just the facts. And you have at it. You do with whatever you want with the facts, but the facts will be the facts. I will not make anything up and I'm not going to leave anything out, on both sides. I'm going to tell it exactly like it is. And if Subria Matias in this case is looking bad, you better believe I'm going to say it. Because, when fighters say certain things, they're going to have to back some of these things up, right? And sometimes fighters go on to attach their name to another fighter just to keep their name irrelevant in the sport. Well, this is not one of those cases right here. Subriel Matias is the real deal. He doesn't know how to play YouTube. He doesn't know how to do anything. He wasn't raised such as a Devin Haney, where that Devin Haney, he was raised with a little bit of money. I mean, and I'm not taking away anything from Devin Haney. That does not make him a tougher or less tougher as a person. No. What I'm referring to is Matias was in street gangs, dealing drugs. He's been shot. He's been in state federal prison, not just a jail. He's been in federal prison. You see? And that doesn't make you a tougher person, but that just to shows you where he comes from. A no nonsense bullshit mentality where he doesn't know how to play around or be fake in any way. Devin Haney is an American boxer, right? That was raised and was given opportunities that most boxers in the world would never get. Okay, he's a very fortunate young man, and congrats to his father, Bill Haney, for raising such a young man and keeping him away from those streets and out of prisons and out of gangs and out of being shot. Congratulations to you. That's how you raise him. And he took Devin Haney and he brought him to some of the best gyms and put him around the best situations and some of the best minds in all of boxing. But that's where they are separated from, you see, in their lifestyles. Subriel Matias, you can see that he's a non-bullshit type guy. So much, in fact, that the interview that I'm about to play is going to reflect towards that because you see, this interview right here was taken from Fight FightHub.com. Go check them out. They're good. I get a lot of my information from them. And this interview, the reporter is interviewing Subriel Matias. This is 8 months ago. This is before, in fact, the Devin Haney fight with Regis Progress. And he gave his honest opinion on who he thought was going to win the fight and why. And he breaks all of this down. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this interview. And I'm going to break this down because this is one of the interviews that they're using to say that this is why Subriel Matias is ducking Devin Haney. And this is the interview that's going to clear his name. Look at this interview right here.
Champ. Can I get your thoughts on Devin Haney possibly moving up to fight Regis Program?
I want this fight. I like David Haney in this fight.
You think Devin's gonna beat Regis?
Yeah, I think he got good technical, but he not got heart.
What makes you say he doesn't have heart, man?
Es manero. He chicken. He's running a lot.
Gotcha. And
David Haney, I want to fight you. Please give me the opportunity.
See?
I know you said you want to fight.
See what he
Devin.
says?
Do you think that'll be your biggest fight at 140 pounds, man?
Nah. I think
Can you guys
the
hear
weight
this?
he got more competition. He resented in the way, so I think he not got good power for the pound.
If Regis does end up losing, are you gonna be upset about that? Because I know you're the one that really wanted to fight Regis. You said you wanted to put him in the hospital. Are you gonna be upset that you didn't get that opportunity, man?
Lo que pasa es que como él va a pelear con Prograis, entiendo que va a perder. ¿Sabes? Es mi opinión personal.
Te pregunto que a ti te gusta Prograis, you tenías a game.
Well, I was saying, if Regis does end up losing that fight, would he be upset about it? Because I know he really wanted to fight Regis.
Well, he said that he think Haney gonna win that fight.
Did you watch Haney's last fight against Lomachenko? Did you watch Devin Haney's last fight against Loma?
Yes.
Who did you think won that fight?
I think Lomachenko.
So, do you think that Haney should move up, or do you think that he should give Loma a rematch?
Bueno, para que le demuestre al público debería de tomar la revancha, pero quizá no haga el peso bien.
He to fight Lomachenko, showing everybody that he won the last fight.
Gotcha. What do you think about a possible fight between yourself and Rolly, man? He's a big hitter, talks a lot of shit. What do you think about yourself and Rolly, man?
Rolling, he's not boxer.
What do you mean?
He standing comedy. He's not boxer.
Okay, listen. Fight fans. Right there, listen, this is what I want you to pay attention to. One, this interview was taken 8 months ago, right? You know what that means? That he's been asking for this Regis Progress fight for 8 months ago. He was asking for that fight. When they're coming on saying that he's requesting Regis Progress rather than Devin Haney, no, he's been asking for Regis Progress way before Devin Haney even entered the ring with him. He's been calling out Regis Progress 8 months ago. But if you allow Devin Haney and Bill Haney's fathers and Devin Haney's fans, they're going to try to say, no, look at him. He doesn't even want to fight Devin Haney. He's talking about Regis Progress. No, it's almost been a year since he's been talking about Regis Progress, just in case you, Devin Haney fans, have not been paying attention. And he gave his honest assessment. He even said going into the fight with Devin Haney and Regis Progress that Devin Haney was going to win the fight. And Subriel Matias had him picked in that fight because of his technical ability. He's already acknowledging that Devin Haney is a good fighter. But he wanted to show Regis Progress and the world that he can beat him better than Devin Haney did. You got to understand that in Subriel Matias's eyes, Devin Haney doesn't want to fight him. So he's trying to put on performances to lure him out. And by saying remarks about pay-per-view sales and stuff like that, listen, guys, the truth is the truth. Now, this is the truth. I'm not hating. Remember, I have no side in this. I'm not favoring Subriel and I'm not favoring Devin Haney. This is just happens to be facts. Okay? And here are the facts, right? Devin Haney and Bill Haney, to this present day, the only fight they have not released the ticket sales for pay-per-view is the Regis Progress fight. To present day. All the time the Haneys want to boast and brag about their sales. They're constantly posting in it after almost every fight. They want to show you that Devin Haney's selling. So that's what they're doing. They posted the Camboza when he was out there in Australia, and all them Australians filled up that arena and the pay-per-view sales and what have you, right? Or whatever it was, right? But they posted the gate. They haven't posted the gate, the pay-per-view, nothing on Regis Progress. And I find that odd. If they're calling you out on it, why haven't you released it? So obviously there was something wrong there with Devin Haney, right? Another thing that's very alarming, right, is that Devin Haney is entering his fight with Ryan Garcia on April 20th, this Saturday. Okay, isn't Devin Haney the WBC 140-pound champion of the world currently right now? Okay, why is he the B side? Why is Ryan Garcia going into that fight the A side? And Ryan stands to make more money than Devin Haney, and Ryan has never competed for a world title. He's never fought for a world title. Devin Haney's the champion, and Ryan's the A side. How's that possible? If Devin Haney, you're a big seller, and you sell on pay-per-view, how is it on your own title defense, you're the B side? Why do they do that? Because the guy that's bringing in more money is on the other corner. That's why they do that. So what is Subriel Matias saying that's wrong in this situation? In fact, the only thing that's wrong is the way they translate his broken English. And they don't understand when a gentleman that is not familiar with a language, how they break things down. And if they could, they would speak the way they want to for you to understand it. You see? So Subriel Matias, listen to me. Guys, there's many situations in the sport of boxing that sometimes the boxers, it's out of their hands. It's out of their control. because they have what they call handlers, managers, and promoters that have different visions for their fighters. Case in point, Sebastian Fundora just won the WBO and WBC title, 154 pounds, against former champion Tim Tszyu. Now, Terence Crawford is pushing to be Sebastian Fundora's mandatory. Sebastian Fundora wants to fight Terence Crawford, but Sebastian Fundora's management and handlers have other plans for him. They do not want him to fight Terence Crawford at all. So now it's being reported that Terence Crawford and the Saudi prince, right, is wanting to promote a fight out there with in Saudi, and it seems like since Terence Crawford has been talking with these Saudis, he hasn't let them go. His next fight is probably going to be out there, and they want him to fight Israel Matarov. Matarov, if that's how you pronounce his name. He, he listen. I understand he's the newly acquired WBA champion. I understand that he had a fifth round stoppage against Carbinov. Carbinov. That was back in March, right? He is the WBA champion, right? But his record, it's his boxing record for me, right? He has 10 fights, one draw, and seven knockouts. Really? Terence Crawford, you're fighting a guy with 10 fights this late in your career as a big fight, right? Okay. It's not his fault that the guy that got the belt has 10 fights, but it's not really that impressive to sell it to the fans. Out of all the opponents Terence Crawford could have, the one thing that he does have is the belt. And if Terence Crawford and the WBO can put enough pressure on Sebastian Fundora, perhaps they could strip him of that title. And that fight in Saudi can be for a unification fight where that Terence Crawford would stand to win two belts on that night, the WBC and the WBO. But first, the WBO would have to strip Sebastian Fundora. And legally right now, he's on the shelf into September. So he does, but he did have to start negotiation process with Terence Crawford under the WBO, and if they're not working with the WBO, they have the right to strip Sebastian Fundora. Yeah, but he still will remain the WBC champion. Yes, he will. And in cases like that, um, so look, there's a lot of things that they're saying about Subriel Matias, but one thing you really can't say about the man. He's not ducking anyone. You do not get the name, the bookman of the 140-pound weight division, and get that nickname put on you because your name is tied to ducking people. You're not the boogeyman because you duck anyone, baby. You're the boogeyman because you're the most avoided fighter in your division. The boogeyman technically is not supposed to be a champion. He's supposed to be the man the champions are avoiding. And when you inquire a name like that, it's for a reason. Devin Haney and Bill Haney, they all know Subriel Matias is a real one. And it seems like the only time they really start talking is when he has a fight scheduled. He's already locked in with Liam Parro in Puerto Rico, June 15th. And they know this. So now it's just like Teofimo Lopez when he sends him a contract with him, knowing, and the entire boxing world knew Subriel's hand was broken at the time. And these are ploys and gimmicks to try to keep their fighter looking like he wanted it and like the other guy was avoiding him. These type of things happen in boxing all the time. But what I would like you guys to do is really pay attention to what's going on, right? And this is is what's really going on. Okay. Um, Subriel Matias is the IBF champion. And Devin Haney is the WBC champion. Tio's the WBO. And Isa Pitbull Cruz is the newly acquired WBA, right? At some point, we're hoping that some of these men fight each other, as we all want the best fighting the best. Isn't that what we want? Okay, who the hell is T.O. fighting right now? Can anybody tell me who that guy is? Right? I I mostly have my eye on Isa Pitbull Cruz for some reason. Something in my gut is telling me that little guy got more balls than the rest of those dudes. Just something inside of me, right, is saying that. I understand how the PBC operates. They like to do a lot of in-house fights. And they like right now with Sebastian Fundora, in fact. He's a PBC's fighter, and that's why they don't want to give it to Terrence Crawford, right? They want to make it an in-house fight. They like to keep their champions within their champions and acquire as many champions as they can. Isn't that the point? But some boxing promoter companies, they're so big, in fact, that you know they have a stable of champions and fighters like Top Rank. Ed Hearns is really making a move. He's signing a lot of interesting fighters. I have to admit, he has Jerron Boots Ennis now. Woo, that's a big one right there. Um, you don't have to like that's the one thing that's good about fighters like Deron Boots Ennis, Terrence Crawford, fighters like that. You don't have to control them. You just gotta unleash them. That's it. They'll do the rest. You don't really gotta hype them kind of guys up. You can promote the fight and everything, but just let him do his job. He's gonna be just fine. And those kind of fighters right there, you know, they're the strongest we have, like your Tank Davises, your Terrence Crawfords, those are strong fighters, and I can't wait to see some of these guys fight against each other. Subriel Matias right now, after this fight with Liam Parro, I was watching some highlights and I made a video about Liam Parro. I even went back this morning and I checked them out again. And yeah, Liam Parro, he's a brave man. He's a brave man. He's really confident in his ability. I'm not sure if he has enough. Um, I believe that Subriel Matias is a little too strong for him, and Subriel Matias is gonna take everything away from him. By the third, fourth round is when really Subriel Matias comes alive. Okay, sometimes he has slow starts. Sometimes he has a much quicker start in the fight. Liam Parro is really going to try to come in, use his jab, and try to hit Subriel to the body, right? Like all fighters do. And slowly but surely, Subriel Matias is going to start to cut the distance between him and his opponent. He's going to start to get closer. As he starts to get closer, I want to see how Liam Parro handles that kind of pressure and that attack. If the expression on his face changes at any point in the fight, he's done. Okay, that'll lead me to believe that he no longer knows what to do. And he's tried everything. When you get to that point in a fight, it's pretty scary as a fighter. You've done everything you can. Your energy is going down. You're getting weaker. He's getting stronger. You just want out. You want out at that point. And it takes a real special kind of fighter to overcome mental lapses like that in the ring, to shake it off and be like, look, the fight's not going my way, but I'm not out of this fight. I can still win. And to have that kind of mentality when things are going wrong, not every man can do that. Subriel Matias was tested in a lot of his fights. He was put in situations where he was stunned. Liam Parro was like, he can be hit easily, that he's not going to have any problem fighting Subriel on that night in the ring, in fact, that they're not going to have any problem finding each other, and that's going to be the case. But, like everyone always says, a lot talk is cheap, you know. Let me answer some of you guys' messages. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Robert Jackson? Wilfredo Santiago, what's up, baby? Ak Akia, good morning from Yeah, he will break Devin Haney down. I don't want to mess up your name, brother. I'm bad with names. If you're just tuning into my channel, please excuse that. Everybody that knows me like that. But I'll catch it. I'll catch it. I'll start catching. All right. And thank you, my brother, for tuning in. Okay, Robert. Fanny fanboys hear what they want to hear. That's it. That's a fact. Matias doesn't duck anybody. He's not on that he's not that caliber of type of fighter where that he's gonna duck anybody, but also Matias needs to understand that everything is not in the fighter's hands. He doesn't understand it. A part of him is still street and he's trying to leave that old man back in Puerto Rico. He's trying to become a professional boxer and how to carry himself as such. He knows that every situation doesn't have to be, yo, and you said something about me next time I run into you, we it's on. No, that's not how you conduct yourself as a professional. You are a professional athlete now. All your fights are done in the ring. There's a point where you shit talk and you know that you're selling a fight or you're trying to entice another person to fight you. I get all of that. Subriel Matias he's just from a different place where that I don't think that there's anything that's he's not fucking joking around. He's not joking with Devin. He's not. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me that kind of guy that's been in those kind of situations has a tendency of joking and trolling and capping on YouTube just because he wants to make himself irrelevant. A man like that doesn't do that. I know a lot of men. I'm from that era. I'm from there, and we don't do that. That's not how you do things. So that's why had it been like a Ryan Garcia or a T or whatever, like I would be like, okay, yeah, but not Subriel Matias. Who are you calling a duck? Yo, listen, there's nothing. He's not built like that. In fact, he wants to fight. I don't think that Bill Haney is as confident in his son as he really wants to believe. He still understands that his son still has a lot of growing to do. And so Brian Matias is a grown ass man. He just turned 32 years old. Devin's still kind of like a young man at 25, just turning 25 not too long ago. You see? So he still has a lot of growing up to do. So Bria's a killer, bro. And I mean that in a I understand that he did catch one in the ring, and when you look at fighters' his records and stuff, they're gonna look back at Subriel and that's gonna come up. It goes to show, where he's at in the level and where his competition was. His competition was willing to die in the ring rather than to lose to him. When you have a man fighting with that kind of spirit, that ain't no tomato can. That man came in that ring 19-0, undefeated. Okay? And Subriel Matias and him went to war. They went to war. That's what kind of opponents he's up against. Not no guy that's going to get hit with a body shot and fold. Subriel Matias' level of competition is not no damn Ryan Garcia. And that Ryan Garcia, which is a lower skilled person, is making more money than you in your own title defense fight. But yet you have the nerve to call me a duck. That's how Subriel feels, bro. Yeah. So Bria's competition is better than Devin than Ryan Garcia, right? Well, put Peru what Liam Parro. Put Liam Parro up against Ryan Garcia. See what happens. Liam Parro will beat the shit out of Ryan Garcia. Hell yeah, he will. Okay, and you see, they're not on the same page, bro. And then the guy that's less skilled than you somehow he's making more money than you in your own title fight. But yet you talking shit about Subriel Matias and that you're talking shit that Devin doesn't sell. Listen, for whatever reason, whatever's going on with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight, and why he's making more money. Listen, because they're saying it because the Tank Davis fight, because they made more revenue, right? and the Regis Progress fight just didn't sell. So that's why I say, look, eventually at some point, Devin Haney ain't gonna be able to run. He's gonna be cornered in by Subriel. Yeah. What they're gonna try to do is try to quickly make a fight between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. The problem is that Teofimo Lopez really doesn't want to fight any of the top guys anymore. I don't think his heart is in it anymore. With all the evidence that I see on Teofimo Lopez's side, I'm quickly starting to question his heart for the sport of boxing now. I truly am. Reason why, after that lackluster performance, he even was caught on the mic saying, do I still got it? Like questioning his ability or his performance. That fight over Ortiz, it seems like he stopped learning. He he looks basically like the same fighter he was from the middle part of his career. It was like he feels like his training got him as far as he was gonna go, and all he does is just stay in shape. He's not learning any new tricks. He has a lot of good tricks. I admit that. Teo is a good fighter and he's a hard puncher. It just doesn't seem like he's leveling up. He got to a certain level and he's like staying there. That's where Teo's at. I mean, he's good, man, but I think he could be better. I think Teofimo Lopez could be better than what he actually is right now. And I don't know if it's due to his stubbornness or his ego or whatever, or the money, the fame. I don't know what it is, but he's just not leveling up. You know, like when I see other fighters, when I saw Frank the Ghost Martin, every time I see him, he levels up. When I see Tank Davis, he levels up. Devin Haney levels up. Shakur Stevenson levels up. Terrence Crawford levels up. They're better every time you see them the next time out. And I understand that fighters can have a lackluster performance. Every fighter's going to have a bad night. Terrence Crawford's had bad nights. Shakur Stevenson had a really bad night at the office. You know, people have bad nights, but you still see something in their performance where that they're getting better, you know? And I haven't seen that out of Tio in quite some time. He's kind of been fighting the same way for the last 4 or 5 fights. Yeah, and I've noticed that. So I don't I don't know. I don't know if his heart's in it where he's gonna be like, I really want to fight these guys. Because to tell you the truth, he could have fought Devin at 135 a long time ago. He could have fought some of these guys. He just chose not to. He could have chose to fight um well, he couldn't have. That's right. Because George Camboza became his mandatory. He was trying to get him out the way to, I guess, fight Devin Haney next. But he ended up losing the big fight. Yeah, to George. And that might have did something to him. In fact, George took a few years off his life in that fight. Tio was fighting with his heart on the line in that fight, on sheer will at the end. He even dropped George Camboza in that fight. You know, he was showing toughness. He just wasn't showing mental toughness. And his ring IQ turned off in the fight. For as much as he thinks how good of a fighter he was, his ring IQ abandoned him in that fight. He didn't use it. Had he used his ring IQ, he would have made adjustments. He would have stopped walking into those big shots and going forward with that angered forward pressure of just trying to get one punch on George Camboza. That's all he wanted to do. He was choosing, it would look like he was chasing him around like this, and George was just evading him, punching him, you know, basically, because that's what he wanted to do. With a ring IQ, a boxer would have woke up. He would have changed himself back to the fighter and boxer he knows he is. If Teo would have just settled down in the fight, he would have wiped George Camboza down in that fight. But he didn't have the mental strength to know and recognize that. But yet they want to give him credit like this superior fighter. No, he's not. No, he's not. So, hey, listen, I'm just trying to tell you exactly what it is. So, as of right now, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, they're entering their fight. Saturday. I'm gonna tune in to watch it. I really want to see what happens in that fight because of future, what's going to happen in the future at the 140-pound division. You know what I mean? And I just want to keep a close eye on this division and see where all the moving pieces are starting to go. And maybe some of these guys are going to start to fight out in Saudi too, as well. As we know, the Prince Alashin, right? He likes himself some Naoya Inoue. And he threw around a pretty big number at the Japanese superstar. At least it was rumored, and they said he was offering him $69 million. Oh my God, to go out to Saudi to fight his next opponent out there. But I know when you offer this kind of money, in the beginning, the Saudis just wanted fighters. And they were willing to pay, big number amounts just to attract a lot of fighters. That's business 101. I get all that. Then as you get the fighters coming in, you might slow down on so many big paydays out, right? And you might start trying to actually make a dollar on some of these fights. Which these first fights that the Saudis threw, they really weren't making any money, So they weren't in it for the money. But eventually, money changes the everything. Money changes everything. Remember when internet first came out, it was free. Now you got to pay for internet, right? All these streaming platforms were free when they came out. Now you got to pay for them, right? So that's business 101. I understand that. I understand that they're going to get some of these big fights, pay out all this money to these certain guys, and then they're going to start to it's going to start to even out a little, and they're going to want to make a dollar. Guarantee it, right? And when you pay all this money for these superstars to come out there, for God's sake, you want to see a fight. That's why the Saudis didn't do business with Saul Canelo Alvarez. And Saul Canelo Alvarez is reported to have denied $200 million, 100% of the pay-per-view. Ah, 100% of the pay-per-view sales. He said no, right? I mean, this is what it's reported. I mean, I I laugh. I laugh, right? Because I know what that means. I mean, that's life-changing, altering money. You basically don't have to work, fight for your family, probably for a couple generations. That's what kind of money we're talking about, right? And depending how you live, unless you want to live in a gold house and spend outrageous amount of money, maybe that's not enough. But if half of $1 billion is not enough money for you to make it in this world, bro, I don't know how much money it would take for you to live, right? Because he stands to make the the guarantee of 200 million they were going to give him, and if he gets 100% of the pay-per-view sales, and they make over 1 million pay-per-view sales or something like that, that's about, well, 100% of that. That's ridiculous money. He makes more money off pay-per-view than he'll make off the Saudis paying him 200 million. Yeah, he'll probably make more than the 200 million they pay him. He'll probably stand to make off pay-per-view maybe three, four, $500 million, maybe more, off 100% of pay. Are you fucking crazy? You know how many people divide that pay-per-view money and the athletes? For instance, Errol Spence Jr. doesn't get that much of a cut. He made $23 million off his pay-per-view sales with Terrence Crawford on the back end. He made $23 million in pay-per-view. And he gets like, Errol Spence Jr. got like, what was it? Damn, I forgot. I knew this too. Um, I think he got like some bullshit like 20% of pay-per-view sales or some shit like that. 13% or some shit. It wasn't high. It's not high at all. And if he got $23 million, or whatever percentage he have, they're offering Canelo Alvarez 100%. Are you fucking ridiculous? Like, yo, that's crazy money right there. He said no. And the reason why he said no, and he's trying to pretend like he's the one saying no, when the Saudis were the ones not gonna fuck with him, right? Because he doesn't want to give the Saudis what they want. And the whole fight and the $200 million and the 100% pay-per-view buys that was offered to him only comes with one price. You have to fight David the Monster Benavidez. He's not fighting him. He said no. Saul Canelo Alvarez will never fight David the Monster Benavidez, and I'll stand on that on this channel right here, Round One Sports Talk. It's never gonna happen. That fight will never materialize, and it will never happen. In fact, right? If I was David the Monster Benavidez, out of respect for myself, I wouldn't take that fight. Out of respect for myself, not even the dollar amount could entice me. That would be a situation that I spoke about with you guys. You could not buy me. You can offer me 9 billion. Matter of fact, make me the richest man in the world. None of that would please me. No, no, not for my kind of fucking pride. No, it really wouldn't. My pride, I would be so mad by this point, and my anger would have been so enraged and furious at Saul Canelo Alvarez that once I moved up, and win, lose, or draw, I don't give a fuck if I got desperate after that, right? Fuck you, like you said, fuck you to me. I'd be on some shit like that. I don't care about fans no more, pleasing no one. When I fucking begged you, when I fought the number one contender, when I got title eliminator at the title eliminator, interim champion after interim champion, I made a mockery of myself of begging you for this fight, Saul. And you just spit it back in my face like I wasn't nothing. Like I wasn't standing there putting in this kind of work to fight you. I did everything to please you. And Saul, I had everyone throw you money to please you, even what I didn't have. And you spit it in my face like I ain't nothing. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm a man too. And I don't give a fuck who or what your name is or what you think you're going to go down in history as. I'm also a man and I have pride. And you know what? Once I move on past you, I am never looking back. You have to have pride as a man for yourself. Fuck you and everything you stand for, bro. And I don't care how much money they entice me. You want to know something? You will go down in your career as everybody calling you a duck for not fighting me. And I don't care if later you want to get older and say, win, lose, or draw, I'll fight him on tail end so that you got an excuse to say you were older. I'm not giving you that. You get nothing. Nah, nah. I'm my own man too. Fuck you. That's how I would feel. Yeah, man, listen. He did everything. He made David Benavidez beg him. Beg. Bro, I got pride too, bro. I wouldn't give a fuck. Once I move past you, you can't buy me at that point. I will not let you close your legacy on my name. Win, lose, or draw. No. For the rest of your life, you will get criticism for not fighting me. And I'm going to leave that with you. You wanted to make that? I'm going to leave you with that. Standing right there like this. No matter what conversation you get in later on in your career, your historical career, you're always going to be judged for ducking me. I'm not going to let you out at the end of your career when you're old. Nah, that's an scapegoat. And if David the Monster Benavidez recognize that, don't give him the fight. Don't give it to him. I wouldn't. That's just me. I would be so fucking pissed, bro. Hell yeah. Bro, just fight me, man. Just fight me. And he ain't gonna do it. He didn't do it for that much money. He didn't do it when everybody bent. Who the fuck does he think he is? But everybody got a fucking nah, bro. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I would make a vow sworn effort. I wouldn't fight that man. I wouldn't fight him. Nah, not after I did everything like this and you made me look like this and you made me beg on TV for it and you made me fight title eliminator. Get the fuck out of here. David the Monster Benavidez jumped through hoops of fire for that man. And still there's no pleasing him. And at the end, when you want to, man, you get no fight. He can go on and say, oh, David, but he try to switch it up. Try to switch it up. There's so much evidence stacked against you that even if you offered him the fight publicly, David the Monster Benavidez needs to come out publicly and just say, you know what? I'm blatantly not giving you this fight because fuck you and who do you think you are? It's too late. That train's passed. I offered it to you. That's what I would do, bro. Man, I be livid. I am livid. I wanted to see that fight for so long. It's just not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And you know what? At this point, I hope it doesn't. I really do. I hope at this point, David the Monster has a little bit of pride for himself and says enough is enough. You know what? Matter of fact, fuck you. You know, that's how I feel. But yeah. Um, Subriel Matias and Devin Haney, the one situation that's going to separate the both of them is that Subriel Matias is much older, and they might just try to age him out. That's a technique and employed in the sport of boxing that's been used in many situations in fights. There are a lot of fights that they say didn't have time to materialize. There's always time to fight. This is the sport you're in, boxing. What you mean we can't make a fight happen in a sport that's called boxing? Come on, man. That's bullshit in itself. In itself. This is what we do. And you're saying that you can't make a fight? Come on, man. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. This is just handlers, managers that also have. You see, a boxer only understands several things. Basically one thing: fight. Fight, box, call it what you want, right? Okay. That's what the fighter and the boxer knows. That's it. The manager and the handlers and the promoters, they understand business. They understand that if you have a title, hold on, young man, why are you so willing to go after the highest risk? This is boxing, but it is also a business. And we would like to market you. Don't you know if you blow up, there'll be people wearing your t-shirts. They'll even make a action figure of you, stickers, stuff like that. But as long as you remain the champion, you can't fight this guy right now. He's too dangerous. We need to market you. We have you as your promoter. The minute you lose that belt, your handlers no longer have a champion. Your promoter doesn't have a champion. You see? So the boxer might be a warrior. In his heart, all he wants to do is go to battle. In the manager's thing, all they want is the money, baby. You see? They have two different visions for that fighter. And that fighter himself, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand the politics and why the fight is not happening. These guys, they don't got the time to explain the ins and out in the number game to their fighter. They only say, I'm taking care of it. Don't worry about this. I'm on it. I'm handling it. I'll get you the fights and you do the fighting. You concentrate on the fighting and let me do the promotional work and the managing. I don't go in the gym and tell you how to throw a jab. Don't come in my office trying to tell me how to put a fight together. You see? So sometimes they're not in the same. You see? So these situations are always going to occur. But one thing for sure, Subriel Matias, no one's duck. Never has been. He never will be. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Not this kind of man right here. No, you're gonna have to beat him. And all that slick talk with Devin Haney and his father calling him the one armed bandit and all this other stuff, it's cute. It's cute. It's cute, right? Because I can clearly see Subriel Matias has two hands. And I say that sarcastically back to Bill Haney. I know what he means. Okay. Uh, he doesn't think that Subriel Matias has a jab. He doesn't think that he utilizes both hands. He thinks that all Subriel Matias is a hooker, and an inside fighter. He doesn't think that Subriel Matias can switch and I beg to differ. I've seen Subriel Matias use his jab. It's just that he hasn't had to. His forward pressure was enough to get the fighter to stand in front of him. It's just like any great athlete, like the Michael Jordan. We spoke about this. Sometimes might not see that in the fighter, but doesn't mean he can't do it. He's not the kind of puncher that uses the jab as a range finder. He uses his jab more as a power jab where that when he does snap his jab, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. And he just uses it sometimes to set up some punches, like he'll jab and then bound to the body. That's about it. If he has you in a corner, he'll flick the jab out in your face. He'll flick it out to get in position to start his arsenal once again. Once he's in the in close, that's basically what he uses his jab for. He doesn't have that kind of jab like a Devin Haney, where Devin Haney uses his jab for multiple. It's a multiple tool weapon for him. He understands what it is. But a jab, sometimes it can win you a fight, sometimes it can't. Depending on the fighter. And I truly know that Subriel Matias is you know, he is the best 140 pounder we have right now, no matter what anyone says. And the reason why he's the best 140 pounder, he has more 140-pound fights than any of the other guys. There has been no man in the 140 that have fought the better opponents. Teofimo Lopez, the only thing he fought was a one belt Josh Taylor. All Josh Taylor had was one belt going into that fight, and that's all he's getting credit for. That's it. And Regis Progress was the one back the vacant WBC title at the time. It was vacant because it was stripped from Josh Taylor that beat him. You see, so none of these champions at 140 is better decorated, more tested and battle tested at that division. As far as superstars or big names, who gives a fuck about that? Who cares about that? And if and I actually don't think that the Devin Haney's fanboys don't want to go down that road with me anyway. With me anyway, right? Because it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad. Because if you were, I don't know if you guys know this, Devin Haney fanboys, but if you really want to uh uh put down their opponents, you're not gonna want to do that because don't forget Devin Haney hasn't fought anyone except Loma. Yeah, don't forget that. I'm saying this quiet because I don't want to alert the Subriel Matias fans. So you don't want to let them know that in actuality, Devin Haney's competition has been weak at best. So don't bring up what he did at 135. Don't do that because you're gonna look bad. Because Subriel Matias's competition was top dogs, bro. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. The toughest thing you got is a 135-pound Loma. How big is Loma? Yo, you're not gonna want. Who do you? David no, no, Linares? Like, come on, man. Like, you're not gonna want to do that. You don't forget how Devin Haney got those belts. He didn't go on an impressive championship run. No, he got emailed one and beat one guy for three. You're not gonna want to do that. That's not really a good champion record, my man. So and that's why I'm only judging Devin on 140. Because I know Devin Haney's good, but you really don't want to do that. No, no. Let Devin Haney mature as a fighter right now at 140. Because I think that Devin Haney, um, he can do some big things. And let's just keep this funky. Like this is not a one-sided fight with Subriel. I'm just covering the ducking aspect to it. As the fight itself goes in the ring, fuck no, bro. Devin Haney's a fighter. he has the skills to beat Subriel in that ring. Yeah, I think he can beat Subriel, but I also think Subriel can beat him. That's a 50-50 fight. It depends what style is more effective on that fight night and who did their homework and who went the extra mile in the gym. It's all gonna tell if they ever fight. That's a real interesting fight. I There's a point away of the fight that I see Subriel breaking down Devin Haney and that he doesn't even I see a fight playing out like that. I also see another version of the fight in my head where Devin Haney just doesn't stay still for Subriel, and he's peppering him all night. Subriel never catches up to him, and Devin Haney stays on the outside all night, and he has enough power to back up Subriel. You know what I'm saying? That's another version I see. When they talk about Devin Haney's power and they say, that's just copy, print, and paste talk. That's people talking, judging him about his power 4 or 5 fights ago. They've been saying that about Devin Haney. When what? When he was 20 years old? When he was 21 years old? Is that when you were saying he had no power? When he was 19 years old? When he was 22 years old? Okay, 23 years old. Is that when you said he doesn't have any power? When he fought George Camboza? Or how about when he was 24 years old? When he won against Regis Prograis? Do you see what I'm saying? You're judging a kid for having manpower, and I'm telling you guys, just wait for it. It's gonna come. His power is gonna show up. You know. Um. So nah, I can't judge Devin Haney like that. I know he's skilled, but he's not as skilled as these guys would want him to be. They think that Devin Haney's on the skill level of like Terrence Crawford. He's no fucking way. Terrence Crawford understands a lot more what's going on the ring than Devin Haney does. That's 100%. You see, he's not on that kind of level. Okay. So when they're talking about Devin Haney, I admit he's fucking great. He's good. He's just not 100% polished for me. See where that I see Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is a polished fighter. He's 100% completely polished. I really don't want him to go anywhere from there. You know why? Because he's already discovered his style of fighting and he's already mastered it. Now he's just working to fine tune it. He's not going to come out the next fight and just all of a sudden be a jabber, a counter puncher. No, you're going to know what Subriel Matias does every fight, kind of like Errol Spence Jr., until someone comes along and figures out this puzzle. You're going to have to beat his style. He's not going to change. It's working. Why fix this when it's working? As a matter of fact, it's so effective, 100% knockout ratio. That's how effective his style is. But to the untrained eye, they don't realize this. They don't realize this. They go, look, he doesn't look like Devin Haney. Look, he doesn't look as fluent. That's not what we're judging him on. I'm judging how effective is what he's doing in the ring is to his opponents. 100% effective. Man, you can't get no higher than that. You can't get no higher than that. How effective is Devin Haney's style against his opponents? 43%. That's how effective. But yet, but yet, they will have you believe Devin Haney is better. Yeah, they will have you believe that he is better. I believe that it's just not on your finishing that makes you a better fighter. Okay, I'll believe that, and I also believe that Devin Haney's 43% could defeat Subriel Matias is 100% on the day they meet. Okay, it's just that his 43% style is the key to unlock Subriel Matias's style for defeat. You see, you never know when styles make fights. And it's just that particular style and that guy that has your number. That guy that has your number can go out his next fight and get knocked the fuck out by a lesser foe. He just understood you. And I've seen that happen in sports, in combat sports, all the time. You see? So this thing in your, if you're thinking, I'm just thinking Subriel's gonna wipe down. No, I believe that both these guys are great boxers in their own right, each of them. I also believe that it would be an amazing fight. It would be a fight that the fans would like to see. And I can't wait to see if this fight ever comes about, unfolds. So leave in the comments, let me know what you guys think. And yo guys, speaking of which, let me get some likes. Can we get these likes popping? You know what I'm saying? Can we get just look, just do this one time. Got it out the way. My man's dropping knowledge here. You know what I mean? Show me the love. Can I get some love? But yeah, no, Devin Haney will never clinch with him. He shouldn't. He's too strong there. He's way too strong for Devin Haney on the inside. And you guys got to understand that Devin Haney is still acclimating to the 140-pound weight division. He's moving up from 135, but he's really never been in there with guys that are a little bit bigger than him and that could hit that much harder. Okay, he did fight Regis Progress, but Devin Haney's style was so effective that Regis never caught up to him. So it wasn't really that kind of test for young Devin Haney. Devin Haney's going to really have to understand now that he's going to have to start to acclimate to the division. When Subriel Matias is getting in the ring against some of these big 140 pounders, right? They're coming in the ring 160. You know what I'm saying? As well. Well, not necessarily until he won the belt. After that, they all have to abide to the 10-pound claw. But before the belt, they had the right to gain more weight. So he was fighting bigger guys than 150, during that time. So what I'm saying is, the only thing that I am saying is that Subriel is well acclimated to the division. He is a true 140 pounder. Not like Devin Haney, where he still needs to fight some of these top 140 pounders to see how he fares up against them. Why would you want your fighter to go after the most dangerous 140 pounder right away when you're still trying to get acclimated to the division? You see, and I understand that Devin Haney's not going to come off and say, I don't want to fight this guy right now because he's going to sound bad. But honesty can take you a long way, far in life. Being honest, right? He could have walked up and been like, "Yeah, I just got to the division, whooped on Regis Progress's ass. Yo, Matias, don't worry, I'm coming after you. Let me get one or two fights in, and I'm gonna come whoop your fucking ass." He could have said that right off the rip, and I would have respected that. I'd be like, "Ooh, okay, one or two fights, Matias, and he coming after you." You see? Honesty is, it doesn't make you look like a punk. You telling the truth. Bro, I want the smoke, but let me get even. Let me get right. All Devin had to say, look, I ain't scared of fighting you. Right? I'll fight you. I'll fight any man on this planet. But let me fight some of the guys you fought too as well. And I'm gonna get my strength up and I'll meet you. Right? But all this, um behind the scene, oh, he ducking because of this and his father this and all these ploys. That's what's making Devin Haney look bad. That's what's making him look bad. Because I don't believe, and there's no one on planet Earth that can convince me that Devin Haney is scared of Subriel Matias. There's nobody in this. Nah, he's not scared of Subriel. There's no way you can be this decorative a champion in a sport where you're trained to fight. Brother, if you were scared of anyone, you shouldn't be boxing. You shouldn't be fighting. If you were scared, if your mentality was, I can be in this sport, but I can't fight this certain kind of fighter, you're not going to go far like that. You're just not that guy. Devin Haney will fight him. He just wants to be better prepared. And he should have just came out and said that. And I know that. I know that. I know that all they're doing is trying to stall for Devin can get better to fight Matias. I knew that from the beginning. But though their stall tactics, the way they're saying it, is starting to make Devin look a little because now they're just catching Bill Haney and Devin Haney in lies. You know how they caught Bill Haney in a lie on social media about Subriel. And they I can't remember exactly what the lie was. I should have put that up too, right? But they did. It was like a blatant lie, and he got caught. He got caught. Instead of just saying, this is what we want to do. Yeah, we're going to fight you. I just need my son to get acclimated to the division. We'll spin the block and we'll come see you. That's it. That's it. I'd have been like, yeah. But some of these guys have a bad way of doing things and it doesn't work out all the time. And then you can see through that bullshit and then that makes you look really bad. And that's what happens. What up, Jose? What's up? Al, what? Simpson, what's up? Hellspawn. Yo, Clarence. Robert Jackson, I agree with you for just. Wait a minute. What the fuck did Robert Jackson say? Robert Jackson, maybe. Hmm. Ah. A little tired against the law of smaller Loma. Loma had him in trouble in that 11-12 round. And in the ninth round, too, I went back and I watched that Devin Haney fight, and I said it. That is the only fight I've ever seen young Devin Haney have to improvise in. That's the kind of pressure that Loma put on him. When Loma was put in just that kind of pressure, Devin Haney turned beet red in the ring. His whole face, his body was red. He was fatiguing. His body was starting to get to that point where it was being pushed to the limit. And there's audio where he's talking with his dad and he's telling his dad, Loma knows what I'm doing. And his father's telling him, well, you need to make adjustments. And he was just improvising in the fight. You see, there was a point where the expression in Devin's, like worry started to sit in a little. Had Loma had him in that kind of trouble earlier in the fight, or the fight would be a couple rounds longer, I don't know if Devin makes it out of that fight with Loma. And that's the kind of fight Loma brought to Devin, right? And let's just sit here and think about this. That was a 135 pounder, a little guy that put that kind of pressure on him. What do you think of Subriel Matias, prime Subriel Matias, that hits that hard, that made 5 of his last opponents quit? Grown ass men that decided that they're in the middle of that fight, their brain and those shots were rattling in their head so much that it became concerning for them to continue in a fight. Would Before the fight started, to all 5 of them men, do you think any of those 5 men would have ever said that there would be a point in their career that they would quit? What do you think they would have said to you? Me quit? Hmm. Yeah, right. You're gonna have to kill me. No, he didn't have to kill you. He beat the shit out of you. And you have no idea what those men were feeling like in those corners. They knew. They even went out there that extra round when they shouldn't have and took more damage, came back because they needed to know. You know, a couple of them got to that point in the fight. You do know that, right? Where that the round before they knew they had to quit. They nah, I ain't quitting. He beat it out of them. That's different. That's different than just knocking someone out. Okay. And when you have these kind of facts in front of you, he's a very dangerous fighter. He's not Superman. He's beatable. Subriel is beatable, but it's just going to take a lot to beat him. And I don't think that Devin, in fact, is ready for him. Liam Parro believes he's ready for Subriel Matias. And on June 15th, the entire world is about to find out. We're going to see what happens. I will be there. I will be in attendance. If you hear the crazy Spanish guy yelling in the crowd, that's me. That's probably me. I'm probably gonna be with a whole bunch of my Boricua friends too, and they're gonna get loud and crazy too. So there's gonna be a lot of us. All right, go Puerto Rico, baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't wait to see it. What were you saying, Jose? Mm. Um, sometimes I don't think it's all about strength. Sometimes and power with a fighter such as Subriel Matias. Evercheck um, uh, fought the last guy that fought Subriel Matias was a real knockout artist kind of guy. And he kept coming in and he was hitting Subriel with some power shots. Some of those punches he hit Subriel with would knock out most men. So that power didn't stop Subriel Matias. His strength didn't bother Subriel Matias. What was giving Subriel Matias trouble, like the fight with Pedro Ananya, right, was timing and speed. That gave Subriel Matias trouble. When he was hitting Subriel Matias in between his shots, and he was catching Subriel Matias before he can get his shot off, and he wasn't seeing the punches. Good timing, placement, and good speed can throw him off. I don't think you're gonna need necessarily power or strength to beat him. Brute force doesn't seem to be his kryptonite. A lot of fighters were strong, knockout artists, bro. I'm trying to tell you. And they hit a lot harder than Devin Haney. And they couldn't beat him. Not with that approach. You see? The approach you're gonna have is gonna have to be a more calculated approach. Ponce had the right idea, but he was just winging punches out there. He wasn't really setting up his punches. He was just throwing anything in a high volume and hard. He didn't really have like an effective strategy to either make him lower the guard, go up top, peel his hand, hit over the top, work off your jab, catch your breaks in between. When he's not doing nothing, you take a rest, then apply a little pressure. Don't think that you have to fight him with his style of pressure to beat him. No, you don't need to do pressure on pressure. You might have to avoid some of that pressure and hit him with something a little bit more slicker. Keep your composure, keep calm, and keep that kind of, and make sure out of each and every round, when you turn around and go back to your corner, you feel like you won the round or you did enough to win the round. When you're going back, you got to ask yourself, did I win that round? And don't try to keep track of the rounds. Just Just know that if you're walking back to your corner and you feel like you said to yourself, I won that round, I won that round, more than I lost that round, you should be winning the fight, right? Right? So that's kind of what I think it would take to beat Subriel Matias. I don't necessarily think you have to have power or strength to beat him. Nah. It doesn't seem like that's I've seen too many fighters stronger than Devin fail. Yeah, but I also seen where he was caught. And what was it that was giving him problems? And it was good placement and timing, and you're gonna need a little good footwork. You gotta be able to do angles. You gotta be able to pull angles off on him. Subriel is more forward. And he has like this step, like they go side to side. So with good angle movement, you can keep him off guessing. And if you can keep him guessing, that's hesitant from throwing punches. And if you got him hesitant from throwing punches, it's your time to lay down your offense. Yeah. Yeah, in your legs, in your mind, and in your punches. Yes. Matias forces fighters to fight his fight. Yeah, he does. Matias, he disrupts things very well. From a stylistic standpoint, Clarence, um, yeah, it could. It could definitely play out to be that way. I understand that the fight in my head is basically gonna look like Devin Haney on his bike and Subriel Matias stalking him. That's what the first 2, 3 rounds in my head was gonna look like. It was going to be Matias forward pressure, Devin Haney standing just for a slight second, getting off a 1-2 combination or two-piece jab, rolling out and using that sharp jab down to the body where he likes to stab his opponent straight like a Floyd Mayweather. Devin Haney's going to utilize that punch. Then when Matias tries to come in, Davy's going to try to slip a punch, get a big punch so that the judges see his head snap back and get on his bike. It's basically going to be a one punch sequences when Devin gets in, throws one punch, two punch, gets out. He's not going to hang inside in the inside with Matias. He's not going to do that. That's what the fight's going to look like in my head anyway. Until, you know, usually the fight breaks out in the fourth round. That's when the human body really starts to loosen up in a fight. Some fighters are quicker than others, some are more slow starters than others. Some are reading data and downloading information and letting you be a front runner to close out the night. Some other fighters got those kind of styles, and I've seen that. But in their situation, I see the fight breaking out in the fourth round. That's where I see the fight breaking out. Depends what happens. How you know a lot of fights are judged basically because we have no more evidence than the guy they fought last. That's what we have to go on. And then until those two men are in front of each other, that you're not gonna know what they look like in front of each other. It could be that fuck, maybe what if Devin gets in there and he looks too fast for Subriel? And this whole time those guys were all just slow. And then until you see them in the ring with each other and they feel each other out, more or less, I can tell you, if this was like a rematch where they were coming into a rematch, I would have more data, more information. I'd be like, yeah. But as of right now, it's just pure speculation. What I assume or I think may happen in the fight between them two. And it's just so hard because there's thousand scenarios that can play out. Well, what I'm talking about is real shit like these two guys are professional boxers, and you're saying that Subriel is ducking who? Get the fuck out of here! What are you retarded? Yo, stop it! There's no way Subriel Matias is scared of any man on the planet. Not that type of guy. Nah, not with the way he was, not his background. No, I don't know men that play around like that. You know what I mean? What's up, Road Rage? My man. Thank you. Well, we gotta get you with the here we at round one sports talk drop, you know? But let me read out. Road Rage, please bring a to Puerto Rico. I gotta make one of these for you. Yo, I got a brand new one sitting in my room. I was thinking about bringing it for you, but and then I was like, my girl was like, "What if you only bring one jersey and you get that interview? You're gonna have to run back and take the sweater off the dude and put it on so that you can be standing there doing the interview with your sweater on." I'm like, "Yo, let me borrow that for a second." Right? Yo, I'm gonna have to make one. I'm gonna have to have one made and shit. Bring it down, bro. You know what I mean? My man, he is a bad man, and I know that when we do get this fight, I'm gonna be very happy because I just don't want this to be one of those situations where that we were supposed to see Devin Haney Tank Davis. Did we see that fight? We were supposed to see Tank Davis versus Loma. Did we see that fight? We were supposed to see Devin Haney against Teofimo Lopez. Did we see that fight? How about Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis? Did we see that fight? And we got Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao about fucking 8 years too late. I just don't want it to be one of those situations, guys. Maybe if they heard enough noise on some of these YouTube channels, and maybe if you gave me enough likes and my video got out there and enough people heard it, that they would give us these kind of fights, man, and stop shying away. You know, I really want to see this, and I want to see you, a man such as Subriel, unify, become a unified world champion. That would be a special, special, situation. Sometimes we talk about these unifications and these men and women that have more than one belt, and since they have it, we really don't step back to take, the time to realize what just one belt can do for you. And when Subriel only has one belt, and he's loved this much, and we consider him a great champion, and that's just one belt. What about the men and women that unified and had two belts, three belts? Those are special, special kind of men and women. And I would like to him to enter one of those because I don't see him being the kind of champion where he's a multiple division world champion like Miguel Cotto's, where Miguel Cotto's for Puerto Rico, he's the most decorated Puerto Rican champion we have with four weight divisions. He has a belt in four weight divisions. That's pretty impressive. So I don't think that Subriel Matias is gonna pass that kind of Puerto Rican champion, but I believe he can join a room with some very prestigious Puerto Rican champions as unified champions. At least at the 140, he stands to unify the belts. And if the man has the talent and the ability, and he is that guy, well, then why don't we fight to find out? But in some cases, we won't ever get to see these kind of fights because on the other side of the fence, although they would like you to believe, no, they're ducking, in reality, they don't want the fight. What's up? Checking in from Florida. Rob, how you doing, baby? Yo, uh, I posted, if you go to my website, um, round one sport www.round one sports talk. I have an email and a website, and I write articles on stories on fights. And me and my brother Rob right here, we came up with an article, and I just printed it. Unfortunately, we wrote a lot more than what I printed, But this typing stuff is no joke. But I'm telling myself, I love it. I love typing. All right, I love typing, even though I type like this. Yo, it'll take me 10 minutes. Yo, I'm bad, but I'm not gonna shy away from it. It's tedious. I don't like it. But every time I do it, I tell myself I love it. I'm gonna be a world class typer. Okay, I'm gonna have a black belt in typing. Matter of fact, I can't live without typing. That's what I tell myself while I'm typing to motivate myself to keep writing the story. And I wrote the almost the entire story, and I went to get up to grab another cup of coffee. No bullshit. And I pressed the button. It deleted everything. I swear to God, it did. And then, well, it didn't delete all of it. It deleted like more than half, and it left me with a pitch. Yo, I was so mad. I just started typing some more, and I put what I could, and I was just like, fuck it, post. Like I was done. My brain was hurting. But no, no, I love this shit. I love it. I'm gonna be a master typer, bro. I will not. Whenever I get frustrated with something, and I realize that this is too tedious for me, and it's causing me to think too much. It's causing me to really like, like I don't want to be doing this. When I find myself in those situations from now on, I tell myself, no, I love that shit. No, this is what I was meant to do. This is, you know why you don't like to do this? You know why you find yourself this is tedious and boring? Because it's not in your comfort zone and it's new to you. Why don't you try something new, Edwin? Well, instead of telling yourself this sucks, tell yourself, oh, I love it. Give me more. Give me another article. I'll write another 10 pages. Don't tell yourself, no, I don't like this. No, I hate this. No, no, because you're going to start to develop that this shit sucks. And no, round one sports talk, we bringing it up. I'm writing stories now. I'm going to go interview fighters, everything. I'm in this for real. And although there's points of this that I don't like to do, and sometimes, no, I love it. Fucking love it, bro. Give me more. Give me more challenges, more opportunity, more headaches. Yep. And make me, I'm going to learn how to type eventually. I'm typing like this right now. I don't care. I don't care. I'll get better. That's my mindset. Yeah. Yo, all right, listen, I've been calling this guy Armando, right? For like, I don't know how long, right? The other day, I'm in my car, right? Because on my computer, like, you guys don't see my setup, but I got one TV here, I got a TV here, I got a laptop here, and it's running off the screens. So the style that I have it is real thin, right? So your messages are like small, real small, like your emblems are small and shit like. And I didn't fuck with it. I just left it like that. So I'm in the car the other day, right? And I'm looking, and I see uh Nieves's comments, and I go, bro, that's not an M. His name is Arnaldo. I was this whole time I thought that was an M, right? Yo, listen, not you're Armando now. It doesn't matter now. That's who you are now, okay? I done changed your name. Right? You know what I mean? Yo, yes. Listen, this whole time, right? And I've been like, but now te jodite. That's it, te jodite. That's who you are now, papi, okay? So if you walk up onto the streets on me and you don't say I ain't gonna know you. You can say yeah all you want. Nope, nope. No, I'm just fucking with you. Man, yo, listen. Good times, good times, good times. So, yeah, guys, man, listen. Yeah, my man. Listen, you've always been here, brother. You're the best. All right, what's up, brother? All right. Yo, I be rocking dudes' names. Yo, my man, you guys are the best, bro. Nah, I fucking love you guys. Yeah, so listen, um, I gotta go out and make some more sweaters to bring with me. Yeah. I was actually trying to get this Naoya Inoue poster. All this fucking money they want for these posters, bro, is ridiculous. It's like $125 just to get it here. It's fucking ridiculous. And then the size of it, I didn't know where I wanted to put it. So what I'm actually probably gonna do is take all this down right here and give it to him, or maybe man, that's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know if I could do it, but I'll fucking do. I don't care. I want a bigger poster of the Japanese superstar up here. So I'm getting it. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. But I'm also not gonna cover any of my legends. No fucking way. Am I covering Floyd or Ali or Mike Tyson? It's not happening. They're I don't care what anybody says. They're fucking legends. And then we should pay homage to our legends. They are the men and women that made this sport prestigious and that gave men like this the platform to become the fighters that they are today. So there is no way I would take a Naoya Inoue poster and dare to cover Ali. That's not going to happen. So obviously we would have to make room. That's it. We were just going to have to make room for another legend, okay? Because he will become a legend, all right? So, but we're going to get another one and we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work, all right? You want one of these sweaters? Tell me how much, brother. If I could, I'll start popping off. I got listen. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. YouTube. They want you to do all these things, and they set you up for all these things, right? If you haven't noticed, I had to put my Cash App thing up here, right? And I heard a couple channels and people talk about that same shit. Oh, you begging for money? You putting your Cash App? I'm like, bro, you're doing a YouTube channel. Ain't you running a business too? And you're shooting yourself in the foot by bragging because when I was like, wow, you guys got a weird concept, right? And on the other thing is that when my subscribers and my viewers are helping me build the channel to donate money to my channel to try to get me out to some of these fights so I can bring you guys better content and stuff, and also give you guys a better background and everything for the love of the sport and everything. YouTube is taking 30% from me, and I only get that money once a month. So if you're thinking you're sending me money to buy a Naoya Inoue poster and I can buy it tomorrow, I don't receive your money for another 30 days. This way on the Catch app, I get 100% of it and it all comes to me. And I can like go out tomorrow and go get this shit. But not until YouTube on like the 22nd of the month, from the 22nd to the 26th, they'll give me whatever money I earned from last month. And from month to month, sometimes I forget what I was doing or negotiating to do things. You see? So that's why. Thank you, facts, brother. A road rage. If you know about this, I'm not. You guys, I'm not full of shit and nothing I'm doing, bro. I'm 100 with you guys. I want to go to these fights for you guys. I want to bring you these pictures and these coverages. I want to fill up my blog with all this shit and experience all these guys and share it with you guys. Yeah, man. And I could be out there and whoever donated or sponsored, bro, I'm going to be like, yo, X, Y, and Z said this to the fighter and he's asking you a question. I'll bring your question to them. You know what I mean? If I can. But I'm working on it because I'm really working on trying to get media credentials. No, I'm not sitting on my ass here, bro. Like legit media. I'm not praying that I get an interview with this fighter no more. No. Like I'm trying to get in. Facts, baby. Like in on with it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I always keep you guys informed on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it and shit. And you know, bro, listen. Yeah, I'm gonna get this shit popping, guys. Yo, listen, I'm trying to I'm trying to tell you, I might just get my own clothing line. Okay, let's start slow down. I'll get crazy. All of a sudden, I'll start wearing glasses. My girl come home, she can't even talk to me no more. I'm too boozy. Hey, don't talk to me. I'm famous. Yo, we went to Target, and the kid behind the counter at Target said he saw my short. He was like, "I know you. I saw your short on YouTube." Lost my mind. Yo, yo, hey, get some security people around me. Okay, come on. Yo. No, but it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. And all jokes aside, I do this for all of us, you know what I'm saying? So yo, what up, Rob? Itchy, what you say? Subriel Matias by no mas by no mas over Liam Powell. Yes, that's exactly what I think is gonna happen in that fight. That is exactly what I think is going to happen. I think that Subriel Matias is going to stop him, and he's going to either make his corner stop it, or the referee stop it, or the doctor stop it. Somehow, some way, and that fight's getting stopped. Rob, what's up, brother? I think you're texting fast, or I'm not reading your message quick. I'll call you later, brother. So yeah, um, preach, brother. Thank you. Uh, so there's nothing that tells me in the fight otherwise that anything else is gonna happen. If his last straight 5 fighters quit, yeah, there's nothing that's telling me otherwise. At least, I think Liam Parro is strong, though. I think he's pretty strong, and he's daring to be great. Let's remember he is the WBO global champion. That's interesting enough. I wonder if I don't think that Subriel Matia would take that interim championship. I mean, he could. There has been fighters that have fought other guys and took their fucking interim belt. There has been fighters in the world that did not accept the interim title on a world title fight, even though the belt was on the line. Case in point, when Floyd Mayweather beat Zab Judah, he he won Zab Judah's belts that night. He didn't accept them. He didn't take them. He didn't take the belts. And there was a controversy on Zab Judah's belt anyway, because the fight before that he lost them. And because the guy couldn't pay the sanctioning fees, Zab Judah remained the champion. Because the guy didn't want to pay the sanctioning, he couldn't afford him. Yeah. And Zab Judah stood champion because the other guy that legitimately beat him couldn't afford the sanctioning fees to the fight, to the belt. That's some corrupt shit. He shouldn't have remained champion. Yeah, and he never and Floyd didn't take them belts. Nah. Yeah, so in those kind of points, yeah. Bro Ray, what's up? Edwin, do you know if they have t-shirts or posters signing for Matias? Um, they do have one, and that's what I'm currently trying to do. That's what I'm currently. I'll get back with you on tomorrow's episode for that. Let me write that down, and I'm gonna get back to you because that's what I'm talking about with my boy Camachito. With that, they're saying that I'm arriving in Puerto Rico early enough to actually catch that when they like sign the posters and the boxing gloves for like the rich people seats. Like when you get like first row seats in those kind of fights, all those poster signings and gloves that you see them signing one at a time, that the boxer keeps signing a glove, passing it, those are like the benefits and those are the benefits and for the people that are like in first class type shit and suites and things like that, and that show up for the post fight press conferences. They divide the posters. They give certain percentage to the people that come up and give posters freely. They give posters to the like the VIP guests and a glove. They already got what they're gonna do. So I'm trying to get there that early, where that I can get in and get there. You see what I'm saying? Like I was telling my girl, I was like, man, I should like throw on like or buy 5 Subriel Matias shirts and have them in my hand with a marker, right? And if I see Leon Parro or I see Subriel, have them each sign their side. In a good world, in my head, that's how it'll work. In a good world, I'll get there and I won't get next to him. I'll be fucking pissed, right? So, you know, I'm trying to figure out where I fit in on this one right here because on this fight right here, I may not have the media credentials. I might not get approved or I'm fast enough from fucking Matchroom. I submitted it. I'm trying to do it. But I gotta figure everything out. Nothing sketched in stone. And then what I got going on with my Puerto Rican brothers that obviously are in the inside that like with like older fighters like Felix Trinidad. He's gonna be there. Shit, I almost gave something away that I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, it almost slipped. It was right there because they told me not to say it, so I can't say it. I can't say it. But Bam Bam Boogie, what up, baby? Red carpet. Yeah, yeah, those are the guys that get the fucking, like the boxing glove and the things. Yeah. So I'm trying to like they separate them, but they do give some out to the fans, but it's a real low percentage. And then the fans that they have is like some sweepstakes winner and shit that won in some supermarket. You know what I mean? Right? So that they give them a boxing experience or some shit. It'd be some crazy shit like that, right? But yeah, no, guys, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. I will definitely be there, and if I can, we'll be in Puerto Rico. We'll take some shots, some pictures and shit, and we'll put them up on the thing. We'll meet each other and shit. Have a great time. Go in there, win the fight, and all Brielle has to do is do his part for the night to go well. So Brielle wins the fight. We happy, we celebrating, bro. It's gonna kick off, So and then I'm gonna make the midnight race to the airport. Go, yeah, because I gotta be at the airport about 6 in the morning for my flight. I gotta be there 2 hours before my flight leaves. So if my flight leaves at 8, I'm gonna have to be there at 6. Right? The fight ends around midnight, so I'm gonna be breaking night. Right? Because why the fuck am I gonna go back to the hotel for? To go to sleep? To do what? To get further away? Nah, I'm only gonna have 4 or 5 hours to get to the airport. I might as well hang out, probably have a drink or something, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll drink in Puerto Rico. I'm not sure. I don't know. Right? But I don't think my body will let me relax. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right? So and then from there, I just told my wife, well, yo, we'll do whatever you want. See a couple things. I don't know what they have open at that time. And from there, we'll make the midnight run to the airport. And I'm gone. Yeah, baby. The Ryan Garcia versus Devin press conference was crazy. Ryan invited everyone to his. I don't know about Ryan Garcia, bro. Listen, Ryan Garcia is he's just doing so much shit other than fucking paying attention to the fight. He looked fairly decent hitting pads. I understand with Derek James, you don't want to show everything, but at the same time, you know what I find very peculiar? That Devin Haney really, really hasn't showed his body. He's doing warm ups and pads in a white t shirt with a long sleeve shirt underneath. And like he was, I guess he's still trying to like cut weight, I guess, maybe. Maybe he had a sweatsuit underneath there. Now, one of my subscribers did say that of him about the roof that Ryan was showing that he was making weight and that Devin might be hiding something, but I didn't take it like that. But the minute he said it, it made me think. It made me think. I was like, wait a minute. Well, let me go back and look at some of the interview. I mean, uh, um, the press conferences while they're training, hitting pads. And I'm like, wait a minute, David keeps hitting pads with multiple shirts on, and he's covering up, and he's covering up, and I'm like, were those training videos old when he was cut up, and they're trying to hide the fact that he might be a little blimped up right now? I'm thinking, I'm like, nah, Devin Haney's never missed weight. He's a professional. He's never like missed weight. I was like, no, he'll be fine. Devin Haney will be fine. Wait until I see it. What? See what? Yeah, yeah. Listen, y'all better have some for me out there, cause you know I'm coming. Okay. Listen, when I get off the plane, I'm gonna be like, where that? Where now? Where? Come on now. Where's it at? Yo, my wife is like, you better not bring none of that shit on the plane with us. We get locked out in Puerto Rico. You get 9 years, and American have to come plead for your release, like the female basketball player that got arrested. Right? She said, "Don't you bring that with you." I was like, "Come on, baby, stop it. It's Puerto Rico." She was like, "They'll charge you for trafficking drugs over the plane lines and shit." I was like, you're probably right. I mean, let me not do no dumb shit. So I'm going out there empty as fuck. So when I get out there, y'all better have the hookup. Tell me you know Flacco. Yo, everybody knows a Flacco, right? Or a Gordo. You know what I mean? Yo. Ah, what, Ryan, what? 500K for missing weight. Nobody missed weight so far, right? Yeah, nobody missed weight. Weigh-ins are not until Friday. Today's Thursday, right? What's today? Wait, there ain't no weigh-ins today. Yeah, no, not yet. My dad's name is Flacco. Everybody has a Flacco. Yo, call Flacco, bro. He got it. Hey, yeah. Yo, guys, I'm gonna definitely have to try to bring up some merch with me, some sweaters. I'm gonna try to get it done, or at least some t-shirts. Bring them up. Oh, yeah, absolutely, guys. You guys are the fucking best, man. I got the best fan base in the world. You be seeing these other channels, they ain't doing it like us, huh? Round one sports talk, baby. We get it popping around here, huh? Listen, guys, you guys have been the absolutely. I had an amazing show, an amazing time. Definitely killed my afternoon here where I'm from. But guys, listen, real talk. Ryan Garcia is entering the ring Saturday 420. Um, I can't wait to see what kind of version of Ryan Garcia we're gonna get. Devin Haney, this is like a mystery, leading all the way up into it with all the shit talking and then the antics and the hiding under the clothes. It's getting real. It's starting to become a fight, right? But there's a lot of big fights coming up. May's going to be an explosive month for boxing. We will have Saul Canelo Alvarez coming in the ring with Jaime Munguia. We will be filming and covering that fight as well. The Japanese superstars coming May 6th, May 18th. We have Tyson Fury versus Usyk out in the desert for all four belts. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall. There's a lot of good big fights coming up. And everything's going to start to move around and everything's going to get interesting. So I hope in this video I answered a couple of your questions seriously about Subriel Matias and all the things that they're saying about him. Careful about what you argue about or what you hear. Reality is just a little bit much simpler. Sometimes these guys do want to fight each other. I don't see Devin Haney being a duck, and I don't see Matias being a duck. But sometimes these things are out of their control when they get that much bigger as a fighter. Yeah. Sometimes early in your career, when you're not such a big thing, you can call a guy out and they'll make the fight happen quicker. But when you become bigger, there's a lot of moving parts, and your handlers, your promotional, your managers, they want to try to maximize the best for you. And sometimes by doing that is fighting the best fighters. That's how you maximize your real potential and your legacy at the exact same time. You want to make sure that the fights that you're taking mean something. That you're not fighting, these fights that don't really mean anything. You see, Tank Davis has a lot of fights, but none of them really meant anything. He just got emailed his belt. He didn't win his belt. Now he's coming against Frank the Ghost Martin. Now he stands to solidify that championship. You see what I'm saying, guys? Do you see where I'm going here? Sometimes some of these guys, they're telling the truth because I really don't see any lies in both men, in their eyes. I think Devin, he wants to fight. I don't think his father wants to fight. You see, I know Subriel wants to fight, but I think he was just going through a lot of things, switching promotional companies, coming off a hand injury. Remember, there were a lot of people that were available to take this fight against Subriel Matias, but no one but Liam Parro signed on the dotted line. Let's just keep in mind that. There were a lot of people that were looking for, but not everybody's going to want to fight you in your backyard. So once he gets out of this fight right here, we're going to see where everything lies. And in the few upcoming months, the curtain will be revealed on who is actually ducking who. Thank you, fight fans. This has been an amazing show. I love you guys. I'm on peace from Round One Sports Talk. Thank you to everyone that joins in, that always joins in, and that supports my channel, that helps the channel grow. Please give the channel a like so that we can get these videos out there. And I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. And I'm going on tonight.